Welcome to 100 Yards of Football, and this is our Legends segment. And boy, we got some legends on tonight. You're gonna really enjoy this show. We're going back to Delray Beach, Carver High, class of 1963, 1964, and 1968. The great football legends. Hey, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
Welcome. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, we got Coach Nate Collins on. We got Coach Eddie Red Odom on. We got Bill Caesar on, and we got Mr. Eugene Hannah on to talk about Delray's rich football and sports history. Hey guys, man, this is awesome. You know, I've known most of you guys all my life, and I'm just seeing you guys in a whole different light, right? Because about a month ago, I did a show with Anthony Penn. Anthony Penn has been my hero since day one, and Greg Dawson was on the show, and we did a Carver High deal with the last two teams in Carver High history that won back-to-back state titles. And so, putting that show on, Eugene sent a message to Anthony Penn, and he said this. He said, "It's more about Carver High than those two state titles, right?" Oh, yeah. So, and it was true. And I go, "Well, wow." So I gave him a call, and we just started talking, man. And boy, he gave me an earful, Coach Collins. He gave me an earful, and he connected some dots for me. So I'm excited to be here with y'all tonight, man. Because like I said, like with you, Coach Collins, I've known you all my life, pretty much on the other side of the sidelines. But I never knew you as a great Carver High football player. I never knew that. And Coach Red Odom, he coached me at the Delray Rocks. I knew he was a great baseball player, and I heard he played football, but I never knew to what level. And then Coach Caesar, I never knew. I just knew he was an educator and, a guy in the community, helping kids like we all do once we get done playing football. And then Eugene, getting to know him and finding out he followed you guys and became the player he did at Carver High. Hey, man, it's an honor and pleasure for me to have you guys on. Here's what I do know. I say this all the time. Anthony Penn inspired me to play. And when I saw Anthony Penn play, I knew that's what I wanted to do in my life, right? And I know I inspired kids that came behind me and so on and so on. And so you guys inspired a generation that I got a chance to see, but I never got a chance to see you guys play. I think I was like 4 or 5 years old when you guys graduated high school. So we're gonna dig in today, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about you guys' time playing football at Carver High and playing football beyond that and what you did after that. Okay. So let's start right here. So here's the thing that I know, right? Like I told you, Greg Dawson, the 68, the 69 Carver High team, those are the teams that I was familiar with, right? I was a little kid, 5th, 6th grade. The town of Delray was on fire, because of what was going on. And I was inspired by those guys. But what I learned to find out, Greg Dawson said that Gerald Stewart was the one who inspired him to play. Anthony Penn said that Mr. Shawnee Chaney was the one who inspired him to play. So I know we got a great tradition. I don't know what's in the water in Delray and Boynton, but it's something in the water, Coach Odom, from one generation to the next, for us to have these kind of ball players come out of this little small community. I mean, it's amazing to me. So let's go ahead and get started. I got a few questions for you. All right. So let's start here. Who inspired you guys to play?
Actually, for me, it was Coach Pompey.
Coach Pompey, okay.
Coach Pompey. He was our coach. Matter of fact, that was our second daddy from home. Once you leave the house, Pompey was our daddy. Okay. In Delray, there's a place called Teen Town Center.
Okay. I remember the team.
All right. During the summertime, Coach Pompey, he was the supervisor.
Okay.
Recreation. Okay. So everybody in Delray, he went to all the boys. Morning time, he worked on his plays. Okay. Afternoon, you can't play softball. So everybody knew his plays already, whether you was playing on the team Elementary school or high school, you know Pompey plays.
Wow.
Some kind of way, I want to say one other thing. Some kind of way, Boynton, he had a big effect on Boynton because that Thanksgiving Day, they had a Thanksgiving Day thing in Boynton. I want to say this. I don't know what kind of football that I thought they were doing down there. During Thanksgiving, they played real Packer football.
What?
And they were running Carver plays. So Carver plays, those guys knew how to play football.
Oh, wow.
When the boys from Boynton came to Delray,
Right.
Huge asset.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, Bobby, one of the things that I really didn't know. I've heard of Mr. Pompey being in 8th grade. What happened to us is in Boynton, there were a lot of football players that were from Boynton that went to Carver, and they were still on the team at the time I arrived at Carver. But what they did to help us be successful, they would work with us during the summer. So by the time we got to Carver, we pretty much knew what to expect, what to do, the plays, and what have you. So basically, I didn't really know any of the athletes that were there until I actually got to Carver, other than the kids from Boynton.
Okay.
And that's when I first met Caesar and Odom. Basically, that our ninth grade year. So basically, the inspiration that I had was from the guys that actually played at Carver that were from Boynton. That was my basic inspiration.
Okay. What about you, Coach Caesar?
Pompey.
Pompey got me. Pompey got me.
Pompey?
Yeah, and then I was training. I did real training too. So we left from there.
He was a trainer in 8th grade.
Actually, what happened with us, we was a trainer for the football.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We was a trainer for the football team. So we knew like I said, we learned the plays in.
Okay.
So when you're a trainer, then you're gonna play football.
Okay.
With the play.
Oh, okay. So that's how you got you in the pipeline.
Yeah, that's how he did. That's how Pompey did that.
Wow. Okay.
They're some good boys too.
Well, what I remember, Bobby, was something of this nature. Having been a head football coach, I didn't realize what happened. We played our games on a Thursday night, and what happened is he would take the boys to the doctor on Friday. He'd take us out of class. The ones that had to go see the doctor on Friday, and then riding in his car, he had a clipboard, and he had all of his right guards. He had all of his left guards. He had all of his centers. He had all of his ends, and he had them in succession. Okay. So basically, if you were on the third list behind somebody, you can look and say, well, look, I'm a freshman now. I'm probably not going to be able to play until I get to be a junior. And that's what right. I guess that's what kind of stuck with me, right. And I didn't realize that until I became a head football coach, knowing how the depth chart worked.
Right.
And the boys from Boynton always thought that we were better than the boys from Delray. I mean, there wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And we would get mad when we felt we should be playing and one of them was playing. Right. So the competition became very, very key. Very key.
What about you, Eugene? I mean, who inspired you?
Well, I learned everything in the alley. And you know about Frog Alley.
Frog Alley.
Sonny Chaney. Yeah, Sonny Chaney, Lamar Ivory, Tatum, Sonny. We played on the blacktop.
Okay.
Then when they put on found the field where we played, that's where I learned it. And then Snow Watson was the one that pushed me.
Okay.
To get me, and I always wanted to play for Carver. And these guys came in. I met them when I first came out. I knew nothing about Red, Nate, and all those guys, Chris Ford and all those guys. I met them in '62.
Okay.
And it was quite an experience.
Wow.
And I absolutely loved it.
Let me go back to 1962.
Okay.
Back in '62, we was 6-4.
Okay.
We lost our first 4 games.
Wow.
First 4 games, and we never lost another game
After that, in 62.
after that.
Right.
Wow.
And it was because we killed each other the first 4 games.
All right.
Probably figured it out.
Okay. Okay.
So we got healthy.
Right.
No, the next year came. The next year came. We was 10-0.
Wow.
We were not the same boys.
Since 62, 63.
30 scholarships, I mean, 30 Letterman's coming back, returning.
He said
Wow. Wow.
All right. The 64 game, same thing. Nathan had graduated. We had another 30. Got 30 Letterman returning again.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And so Pompey once put me to the side once and told me, look, I'm not going to retire from coaching until you graduate.
Wow.
I felt real good about that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you know, it's amazing now. When I look at Delray now, and I look at Delray during my time, here's what I remember. I remember the talent pool was so rich. I mean, when I was in high school, we had guys, great athletes now, like Mo Wesley is probably the greatest athlete I played with in my whole life until I met Deion Sanders. I'm talking about little Mo Wesley. He didn't play high school football until his senior year. Chuck Jones and David Peel never played high school football, Red, until their senior year because there was so much talent and they weren't going to sit the bench for nobody, right?
You want to know what happened? We had a meeting in the recreation office once, and we told them, and I was coaching Rocks at the time then, I myself. I said to them, are you going to go sit the bench, or are you going to go play first string with the Rocks?
That's right. That's right.
On the 130.
That's right. That's right.
And they did. And then when the senior year came, the next year they were seniors, and it was starting.
And went straight to the lineup, right? Went straight to the lineup. And so we got a rich tradition. I remember some years ago when we had all these high schools, Spanish River, Olympic Heights, and all these schools developing up all the talent in Delray. I'm like, man, what are they doing, right? And everybody surviving and playing well.
Well, too, we had Boynton, we had Boca Raton, City, we had Lake Arthur, Lake Worth.
Okay.
Delray, we had all those boys.
Oh, wow.
And we competed against everybody.
Right.
Miami South, that's Mays High School.
Right.
What Odom is saying is, during the 60s, you probably had at least maybe, I want to say 4 to 5, maybe 4 black high schools in the entire area.
Okay.
Carver drew kids from Lake Worth, Boynton, Boca Raton, Delray, and 441.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where everybody. So therefore, there was always a good pool of athletes.
Oh yeah.
And as a result of that, from year to year, you would have some down years because of the experiences. But that's why we always had some good. Then when they started opening up and phasing out some of those schools and the predominantly black schools, and then that's when the pool of athletes began to kind of unsaturate Carver, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, and you got the best talent. You got the best talent.
Yeah, the best talent.
Oh man, no doubt about it. I mean, just year in and year out, man. I'm just amazed. I've been gone from Delray since 1977. When I look at it, when I went to college.
We played both ways.
We played both ways. That's right. And I know, Red, that was Achilles' heel at Atlantic when I played because we had 7, 8 guys playing both ways. And every year, the semifinal playoff game, we get 2 hot guys hurt, and now we got to replace 4 positions. How you do that with 28 on the roster? That was hard for us at Atlantic. We only carry 28 guys on the roster. And, you get 2 guys hurt, you got to replace 4 guys, and it was almost impossible to do that. So let me ask you, okay, Coach Collins, you played offensive guard,
right?
On offense, and you played middle linebacker.
No, I played outside in high school, outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
Like I said, we had a 53 There were 2 outside linebackers and 1 middle linebacker.
Okay. And so Coach Odom played middle linebacker.
That's correct.
Now, Coach Odom, let me ask you a question now.
Go.
Did you play any on the offense at all?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something. We had so many good offensive backs.
Right.
Okay. So I always was a second back. Always.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
I'm not doing that, but
Right.
I blocked for a whole lot of times.
Right.
If any one of those positions got hurt in the backfield, I was the man.
Okay. All right. All right. I got you. Okay.
But I remember now I punted also.
Right.
He was a punter.
I punted also. I kicked off.
Right. Okay.
And I had a scholarship at the University of Miami just to punt. So that wasn't for me.
Oh, that one for you right there. I can tell you that right now. Your temperament ain't like that. Hey, so Red, I don't know if you remember this. When I was playing for the Rocks, my last year with the Rocks, you taught me how to punt, and I ended up being a punter on the Rocks my last year, and then I punted 3 years in high school. You taught me how to punt. You did. Now, Coach Caesar, did you just play offense, or you play defense too a little bit?
Defense, special team.
Oh, you did it all.
Nose guard.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He had a scholarship to Purdue.
All right. Man, that's big right there now.
Yeah.
All right. So now, Eugene, you play offense and you play defense as well, right? During your time.
Defensive end and right guard.
Defensive end and right guard. And so it's amazing, right? So now, all right. So when I think about you guys, all right. So when y'all showed up at training camp with Pompey, y'all immediately signed up for guard. How many of y'all want to play running back? Any of y'all want to play receiver? Or he just put you where you needed to be?
He put you where you needed to be. I'll say this. He probably knew most of the kids from Del Rey. And what Pompey would do, Pompey, if you had a big family and he knew there were some boys in the family, they're going to play football.
Right.
And if one of them was a good end, then all of them had to play in. One was a good guard, all of them had to play guard. One was a quarterback, all of them had to play quarterback.
Oh, wow.
That's the way he worked it out. Now, the kids coming from Boynton, what we decided to do, I figured out, well, look, I want to play. So I know I'm not going to be a running back.
Right.
So I want to get in a position where I could play.
That's
and
right.
as a result of that, because I was a small lineman for high school and for college.
Okay.
But I was quick.
Right.
And that in itself, and I decided, and what happens is most people don't like to play on the left side if you're right-handed.
Right.
Most people want to play on the right side.
That's right.
Well, again, I'm thinking, well, if I play left guard, not very many people want to play left guard, so the competition becomes a lot less. So I played left guard, but I was right-handed. So I'm thinking thinking all the time about how I can play. You got to remember that.
Well, Nate, you might not remember this though, but you don't remember because it's between me and Mr. Pompey. I mean, Pompey, that boy right there, man, he get off the ball. He hustle all the time. You about 13, he don't 13 years old, be 14 next birthday.
Yeah.
He hustle like that, so I don't know how to do with it, your
And Bobby, that was another thing too. See, I graduated I was only 17 years old when I graduated from high school.
Wow.
Because I was in ninth grade. See, my birthday is in December.
Okay.
And what happened was my mother made them, you're supposed to stay out a year because based on your birthday. But my mother made me start school. See, my birthday was in December. Technically, you don't start. You turn 6. You turn 6 in September.
September,
but
right?
See, I started. I think either 6 or I think it was 6. I've been 6 or 7. But I started school before I actually turned the actual age I was supposed to.
Wow.
But you can't do that anymore.
Right.
So by the time I got to Carver, I was only 13 years old.
That's right.
As a freshman.
Wow.
I was only 13 as a freshman.
Nigga hustle, coach. He hustle. I'll let Pompey man other coach on the field. You know what I mean? He's trying to listen to me. If I say,
right.
If you're out there, you're not going on the field.
Oh man.
Back in the day.
Hey, I can tell you right now, Coach Odom, the way you were when you were a young man, when you were coaching me, I can imagine what you was like as a middle linebacker, man.
Didn't know I had no friends. No friends.
Yeah, he was.
Knock them all out, right?
Well, in practice, they tried to get me too.
He was the man.
And they in the season was trying to get me. I was always on the other team. I never was on the offense team. First,
Right.
we had offense. Tuesday we had defense.
Right.
We had on defense on Tuesday, but on Monday, I was always on the other side.
Okay, all right.
They were trying to shoot at me. I see them. They be plotting. I can see it. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things you're probably not aware of, and Odom can attest to this. On that particular team, our senior year, as I told you on the phone, it got to the point where they actually stopped us from scrimmaging. Probably about the fifth football game, because we would actually hit so hard, either on offense or defense, that somebody was going to get hurt.
Oh,
we
wow.
just you didn't know who it was.
Right.
Somebody who it was. So in order for us to have a successful season, they actually stopped us from actually making contact, and we were getting mad because we wanted to hit somebody. But I understood, as becoming a head coach, I understood the rationale behind that now. At the time but I didn't understand it at the time I was in high school.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. You know, the competitive heart, the competitive spirit is so funny because when I was in high school, I wore the red jersey, so you didn't hit the quarterback, right? And so we had a middle linebacker named Chuck Cunningham. He was talking that stuff one day in practice. I said, "All right, man, just me and you'll be live." I said, forget the red jersey. We'll be live. You can't hit me if you try, right? Man, coach, I went up the middle, running the ball, and I saw him, and I just kind of lightly gave my leg, like I was going to snatch it away. Man, that joker hit me so hard, I'll never forget that. I said, look, man, you can't hit the guy in the red shirt no more. So Eugene, how it was for you, man?
It was very competitive watching these guys. I learned from them. I learned from Nate, Caesar, Tatum, just watching them, and I know sooner or later I was going to get my time. Absolutely. And it's very competitive, man. Them guys, they made you competitive because they didn't lighten up on you because we wanted to win.
Right.
And Pompey pushed you.
Right.
And he always tried to, stir up stuff with you, and I mean, I remember guys were standing on the sideline telling the coach they missed the tackle or missed the block. They want to get in there and play. So it was competitive. It was very competitive, but I learned a lot from them guys. I learned a lot.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine that. I think Mr. Pompey was a great man. I mean, when you leave a legacy like he did, and everything in Delray is named after him. That says a lot about who he is and who he was, and how he changed things in Delray. He even touched me a little bit when I was in middle school. I was running track, and I never lost a long jump. And the track coach called him down to help train me. I mean, I was in 8th grade, and he came out to track practice every day. He helped me. Listen at this now. Listen at this. This is amazing. The things that he had me doing, I was working over the summer after I left middle school. I long jumped 18.9. I had the middle school record in the county, 18.9 at that time when I was in 8th grade. By the next year in the 9th grade, I long jumped 22 feet, 11 inches, working on the things that Mr. Pompey taught me. It's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. How many generations that got touched, and it was just amazing. So just amazing.
Well, so one of the things that you're absolutely right. However, I never forgot my position coach.
Okay.
If it were not for my position coach, I probably would not be where I am today. Not no disrespect to Mr. Pompey.
Right.
But my position coach made me and myself the way I am because he taught me a lot. And he was probably also one of my teachers. I had him for shop.
Okay.
And he was the one that was instrumental in helping me make some ironclad decisions about my future because I had decided that I was not going to go to college.
Okay.
College was not even in my radar my senior year. Okay. He pulled me to the side and asked me what my plans were. And I told him, I said, I either want to be a police officer, police officer or doing construction work or whatever. And he said to me, you need to go to college. And what he did was he contacted his college, and they took myself and Caesar sight unseen just because of his recommendation.
Wow.
We didn't have any film and all that stuff during the time we were in high school.
Oh, wow.
And as a result of that, that's probably my position coach, I would say, probably played a tremendous influence.
Who was he?
Where I'm today.
What was his name, Coach Collins?
Mr. Cooper, Harold B. Cooper.
Harold B. Cooper.
Obviously,
Yeah.
everybody knew that, man.
Wow.
Everybody knew that.
Everybody knew that.
And so he got you you and Coach Caesar up at Maryland State.
That's correct.
Yes, sir.
And y'all played on that team, which was one of the probably one of the best HBCUs in that day. You know, everybody knows about Grambling, everybody knows about Florida A&M, everybody knows about Alcorn and Southern. But when you say Maryland State, a lot of people don't know about them until you start looking at the list of NFL players.
There you go.
And I'm telling you, man, and you know it's amazing. Some of your teammates, you know, I guess we're not that many years apart. You know, when I first got in the league, I played against Art Shell.
Art Shell played left tackle. I played left guard. We played 3 years together.
That's crazy, man. And Art Shell, I think, is still considered one of the top 100 players in the NFL history. Great.
As I told you on the phone, we had a running back, Emerson Boozer, played with the Jets.
New York Jets, man. I never forget Emerson Boozer.
Yeah,
what a great player, man. What a great player.
Speak up.
And so, but that has
a linebacker for the Raiders. Gerald Lyons and Shell were with the Raiders at the same time.
Oh wow, man, that's crazy, man.
Wow,
that's crazy. And so, how was it playing up there? I mean, you know, going up there with all that kind of talent. I mean, y'all held your own, right?
Well, the issue was with me, and Caesar can attest to this. As I told you, I was the smallest offensive lineman in the history of the school. I only weighed about 198, maybe 200 pounds.
Oh,
the rest of the guys, 260, 270, 280. Oh, wow. They were huge. They were huge. but again, there was this drive to play.
Right.
But I knew I was not going to be a professional football player. I knew that. I knew that from the start. And our coach, did everything he could to keep me out of the lineup because I was so small.
Oh wow!
But again, I tapped into my offensive line coach. That's Coach Anderson.
Okay.
And I mean, when they called the starting lineup, Gator was in the lineup. So it worked out real well for me. It worked real well for me.
You know, there's something about the fight in the line because I tell you, you know, most of us from Delray. Now it may be different now, but back in the day, all of us went to school small.
Yeah, well,
you know, let me tell y'all a quick story. When I went to Florida State to visit Coach Bowden, Steve Harton had left Atlantic and became a graduate assistant up at Florida State. And so he helped them recruit me. And so when I went to meet Coach Bowden, they told me, all right, but when you go in the room, keep this jacket on and don't take the jacket off. I'm like, well, why I can't take my jacket? You know, I kept saying to myself, why they want me to take my jacket off, right? And so they had told me I weighed 170 pounds. And so fast forward to me getting to training camp, I showed up, I only weighed 145 pounds. And so I was weighing out because, you know, back then you weigh in practice and you weigh out. So you lose that water weight. I'm not 145, I'm 138, 135.
There you go.
And so he going on the coaches, y'all got this little kid up here, you know, we're going to be liable with this and this and that until I knocked the tight end out in practice one day. I knocked him out cold. I'll never forget it. I knocked him out, Red. And that night I went to eat dinner, and the senior stood up and called me to the table. Butler, you sit with us tonight. and it was over from that point on, right? So it got a lot to do with the fight in the line, man. It ain't got nothing to do with big. It ain't got nothing to do with that big boy. So you left Carver, and you went to junior college on the West Coast. How was that for you?
Different. Got the guys was a little different. You know, they're bigger, fast, different type of ball. The one I went to, not so aggressive, but more finesse.
More finesse. West Coast.
A lot of talent. Yeah, yeah, and you just have to learn the difference. And, coaches are different, and I enjoyed it though. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a big experience, and what helped me is just going the experience I had at Carver.
Oh, absolutely.
Just the competitive, because I just didn't want to be outdone. I want no one to outplay me.
Well, I tell you one of the things.
Again, playing with.
We're losing you on
playing with
mic.
Red and Nate and all those guys, and watching them, man, it just they wouldn't let you be no less than what you were.
Right, exactly. Now it's amazing.
You have to come to play.
You have to come to play. I remember when I left home, I just felt like I was wearing Delray on my back. Barry Hill had went out and made a good name for himself, and Charles Cornelius made a good name for himself. Going to Cookman, and then he played about 8 years professional football, and so I always felt like everywhere I went, they knew I was from Delray, and so I tried to hold that down. And then my second year, man, we got a few guys. Charles Ferguson. Ray, I don't know if you remember. Charles Ferguson came up
very well. Yeah,
and he was a freshman All-American his first year. That's how he was doing it, And then of course it didn't work out, but there's nothing like Delray Beach. There's nothing like where we come from. There's nothing like the rich tradition, the rich history. I love it. A lot of people when they talk about South Florida, they talk about Fort Lauderdale, they talk about Miami, and they'll talk about the muck. But I tell you right now, when I was in high school, 4 years I was in high school, nobody from the muck beat Atlantic High School. I can tell that. So I can speak about my time, right? So no matter how good they were, no matter how fast they were, when they came to that football, and we opened up, Coach Collins, like this way in Atlantic. We played Gray Central the first week.
Yeah.
We played for Hokie the next week, back to back. And I never lost to any one of them in 4 years. We got strong. So y'all put it on too?
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all a quick question. Coach Caesar, let me ask you this real quick. What was the competition like? That y'all played against. We know the competition was like in practice.
Real stiff.
Y'all played Pompano Ely, right?
Yeah.
Y'all played Dillard.
Yeah.
No, they.
Yep.
Yep. Played Mays High School.
Mays High School.
That's and that's what they call the school now.
Where that at Fort Lauderdale?
Gifford.
Gifford?
Gifford. Vero.
Okay, Vero.
Yeah.
Now they play good football in Vero now.
Right.
Yeah.
You see now, remember we gave up 19 points.
What?
That year, 1963. And you called Ely. That was our second game. We had something going.
Okay.
Coach Pumpy took the stars out of the game and put I won't call you guys' name, some more guys on the field, and it scored 14 points right quick.
Oh wow, okay.
The last points of the whole entire year that we gave up.
Oh wow, man. That's powerful. So y'all laying some wood up there. Y'all laying wood.
Yeah, good team.
Everything was shut out. Most of everything after that was shut out.
I just think
I played the point. Red played little linebacker.
Yes, sir.
Shut out.
We ready.
But I did get a scholarship at Bethune-Cookman, but it didn't work out too well. For the first week there, a big guy came through the door. He had to put his head down to come in. In the ring room. I looked up and said, man, this guy was here in my life. I want to know what position he was playing. And what happened? They turned the TV.
Okay. All right.
We were freshmen.
Okay.
This not gonna work out, man. Nobody never treat me like this. He's 6'9".
Oh wow, man.
305.
Wow.
No, it's not gonna work out. So anyway, I first the season there, I ended up signing a baseball contract. I came for Christmas and signed a baseball contract.
With the Braves?
Yeah, with the Braves.
All right.
No, with Washington Cylinders. And I got released there, and I went back and played with the Braves, and Dustin Bacon and those guys there.
Yeah, Dusty Baker was your roommate, right?
Your roommate, yes.
Oh wow, man.
Wow, you know, so
That's
anyway, I had a good career, but then I wasn't good enough for baseball either. Wasn't good enough.
okay.
Good enough because I didn't have a little league.
Right.
I didn't play little league, so
Right.
that's when I came back. Was I learned all I league. I came back with my whole heart and soul in the little league, so I can teach our boys how to play. Now we balling now. Really, I really teach the balling.
Well, I tell you what, Red, I want to tell you, man, I want to just thank you for that because, you know, when you guys came back in the community and started helping the kids back here, y'all changed our lives. And you don't even know the beginning of how y'all did that.
It's Crazy Legs. You know someone named Crazy Legs?
And I want to say, I want to say real quick in front of everybody, I told you this yesterday, Red, but I want to say this with everybody on, and I want to say this on the show, that when you coached me and when I was in the 8th grade, I sat the bench for the first time. And I didn't like it. I was angry. I was mad every night. And you would ask me every night, Butler, I need you to help on defense. I'll tell you, coach, put me on offense. I ain't no defensive player. And every night you look at me and say, Butler, you need to come over here now. And so eventually I did that. And I never really played, you know, I played cleanup duty in the game. But what happened, you taught me how to tackle. And I learned how to tackle. Now, I didn't know that was going to be a pivotal moment in my life. I didn't know that. You know, because 2 years later, I'm starting in the 10th grade at Atlantic High School playing defense.
Yeah, part of your career all the way. Yeah, he was
tackling people. And then 2 years later, out of all that quarterback I did, all them touchdowns I ran, all them touchdowns I threw, it didn't mean nothing because when it came time to go to college, nobody recruited me to do that. They recruited me to tackle people. And so I go to Florida State and get that scholarship and was an All-American up there tackling people. And then 4 years later, I get drafted, man. I made money 12 years tackling people. And I I just want to say thank you for seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself, you know. And if parents can hear this and understand this one thing that I'm talking about, whatever your coaches say or ask your kids to do, just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it because they can see things that you can't see, you know, and do it to the best of your ability and go and work and play hard, right? You know, so I just want to say kudos to you and thank you because I know I'm not the only person in life that you touch. Coach Collins, I know I'm not the only, you know, you touched a lot of guys' life. You coached some great ball players at Lake Worth, Ronald Raz, Kirby Jordan, Henry Watson. I mean, you coached some talent down there. And matter of fact, I know you're still giving yourself excuses. You thought you beat us one year, but you didn't. Yeah, I don't care how many times you tell yourself. We did get y'all.
Need a class act, man. Need a class act. Really, always have a class guy. Always have a class guy.
Hey, boy, I tell you,
he was good for me, but he been a class act.
Hey, Red, they had us on the ropes though. They almost had us, boy. They almost had us, boy.
Yeah. So I tell you a joke. I go with training. So I read the coach. I come across the field. The coach comes to me. The shell was coming behind the coach. So the coach said, "Who you going to practice?" He said, "Some kid." I said, "You look at me over time."
So Art Shell snitched on you.
Yeah.
He snitched on him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hey, you know how teammates are sometimes. You know how teammates are sometimes. Well, listen, guys. So let me ask y'all a couple more questions. When it came to Carver High, there we go. I see Red on them. That's you, Red. Number 22.
22, that's me, yes.
Oh, wow. Who else on that team? Anybody else on that team?
That was after y'all.
That was that
picture?
That's 14.
That's the thing.
Okay. All right. Give us the next one. Oh, there they go. Coach Collins, 37, right? That's you, Coach?
36.
Yeah.
And Coach 36, that's you, Coach Caesar?
That's Nick guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the one.
4 cap.
All the captain. Minnesee Barry. That's Minnesee Barry.
Who was that? James Barry?
Barry, Minnesee. Yeah.
What did he play?
Clocker.
Tackle?
I was
Tennessee
three-time
Barry.
captain.
Will Bethune, yeah.
What about number 1? Who was that? Samuel Kendrick?
Dale Kendrick, yeah.
What did he play? Quarterback?
Yeah,
Quarterback, yeah.
He played for
quarterback.
Oh wow, man! Look at that.
That's crazy.
I was captain for 3 years on the team.
You were captain for 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh wow, man, that's big time right there. Now
Yes, sir.
you got another picture, Jeremiah. Oh, they go Red, punting the ball. All conference linebacker. Eddie Red Odom. Wow,
Fire shot.
wow.
Now, that's the man right there.
4 years.
Willow
Man.
Wright.
Willow Wright. He was a bad dude.
Vincent.
Oh, they go Vincent
Bad
Noble right.
dude, man.
They go Red right there again.
Yours not changing.
Tubby Stewart.
He look like Kurt. He look like Derek.
Oh wow, man.
Got all these, Chris?
All right, who we got here?
Watch it.
Is that Johnny Rowe?
Bird body shot.
John Rowe, yeah.
John Rowe.
John Rowe, yeah.
Tatum, Sutton,
Ex-police officer.
and Tex Berry.
Hold on. What Sutton that is? That ain't Coach
That's George Sutton. Booby Sutton, yeah.
George Sutton.
George
That's George Sutton.
George Sutton.
Oh wow,
And
man.
George Sutton.
Wow, the fearsome fivesome. I like that. Wow, man, that's great. That's the team photo right there.
Crazy.
Wow. Southeast Florida Conference champion. Now, it's amazing. The reason y'all couldn't win a state title because you wasn't in the Florida high school
No,
association.
they didn't have that then. Yeah, we couldn't get a bowl
They didn't
game.
have
We
it.
tried to get a bowl game. Couldn't get a bowl game.
Okay. But I bet y'all bowl games were live though.
Couldn't get any of it.
Who's on the far end in that? Is that Hannah? Eugene, that's you?
Yeah,
That's me on the end there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Anthony Grisby over there.
Anthony
Anthony Allen.
That's really big.
I remember Anthony Grisby.
yeah.
This whole family could burn out.
Wow. Man, look at that, man.
The whole line, big.
It's nothing like memories, man.
I think with the Grizzlies from Miami, but his dad.
Nope.
Probably the same really.
There go Eugene right there. And that's Big Tex right there, 65?
Yeah, that's me. That's Big Tech.
Okay. Now let me ask y'all a question. Where did y'all play y'all football games at in high school?
We had our own field.
Carver Field.
Very calm.
Carver.
At the Carver that we know now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had our own field. The same thing you see at Atlantic, the old Atlantic.
Yeah.
Old Atlantic, we had the exact same thing there at Carver.
Oh, okay.
Everything. We had our own ball.
They played downtown Ontario. Back in the day, they played like old posse, but doesn't do that.
Wow.
The field's right there, city field.
Man.
Now, let's go back a little bit in the 60s.
Okay.
Okay, we also played at where City Hall is. That was,
Right.
that was the football field there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
How we got in the game?
That was back in the day. Yeah.
A little young boy. How we got in the game when the bus pull up on the north end of the football field.
Mhm.
We go grab a bucket or something from one of the players' or helmet so we walk in the game free.
Oh wow. Okay.
To get in.
Right.
That's how we were together. That's how we got in the game.
Wow. Well, y'all didn't have to do how we did. We should just go up under the fence. You know, we'll go to the stadium, just some kind of way, get up under that fence. Somebody come and let us in at one of the fences or something. Oh, pull it up, and we'll get up under the ground and get in that way.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys. It's really an honor to have you guys on here tonight, and I'm thankful that we had a chance to get in here and have some fun, talk about history, talk about Carver High. You know, Carver High, man. You know, one of the biggest disappointments I had in my life was the fact that I never got a chance to play at Carver High School.
Yes.
When I was in elementary school, 1970 was the last year of Carver High. And I was really disappointed because, you know, my best friend is Larry Coffey. You know, of course, his dad, Roger Coffey, was the head coach. Coach Collins was on that staff. And I was really disappointed that we didn't get that opportunity. But, you know, life is still good. You go on, you do what you play the hand you're dealt, and you go on. But man, what a strong tradition we got in Delray, and,
Yes.
and I'm proud to say that I'm from Delray, and I hope you guys are too.
True that. This is priceless.
Most definitely.
Well, listen, guys, that's our show tonight. If you like the video, see the video, like it, share it, comment. This is 100 Yards of Football, and this is our legend segment. And we got the best of the best from Delray and Boynton.
Yes.
Carver High, class of 63,
Right,
64,
right.
8. Coach Collins, we love you. Coach Odom, love you. Coach Caesar, we love you. Eugene, we love you, man. Thanks again for being on the show.
Right,
Right, man. It's been awesome.
All right.